Alright guys, real quick, I want to show you this update here. I've been using a very simple paracord wrap. This is a no frills, just boop, 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 boop. It's wrapped around the handle here. Again, this is the CRKT Chogan T-Hawk. Did some testing with it just like this and was not a fan. The problem with this is that this basically mimics the same profile of the stock here, which is basically a very thin rectangle, okay? And when you grip this, particularly when you're using this very hard chopping and stuff like that, you feel a lot of the pressure in the front of your fingers and in the back where it's at its narrowest. So with a single wrap like this, not recommended. It is quite uncomfortable. Sure, you can do a fancier, thicker wrap with the paracord, which will actually give it more of an oval shape. Whoop, sorry, I hit the camera here. Let me take this lanyard off for a second. I'll show you this. You can give it more of an oval profile by doing that. You do a thicker wrap and it'll be more of an oval, which will obviously fill your hand out more and your palm, so you don't have so much pressure on the front part of your fingers right here, and of course in the back of your palm when you're gripping it. So just basically a thin wrap like this doesn't work for me. The original scales, even with the funky grip that it had, which I didn't like, would still be a better option than this. But since then I've modified, sanded down the scales, so I'm gonna put those scales back on here, do some testing for a little while, and then I'll get back to you and tell you what I think about the new modified original scales. Alright guys, I just want to show you this before I do the other handle. I'm not sure how this is going to come out, but basically I hit these handles of the CRKT Chogan, the T-Hawk, and I was talking about the texture just being kind of funky and weird and ticklish and stuff. Here's the original scale. And I took 100 grit sandpaper, just some 3M, very, very simple, and about 3 or 4 minutes, not even, basically took it down to this. Cleaned it up, washed it off. The texture feels really, really good. I can't express the difference here. Visually it doesn't look like much, but try to come in close so you can get a direct view of this. I like the way this feels a lot better, but I'm not going to know how this actually works until I do this scale here. But the purpose of this point of the video, I'll probably edit this in the overall video, the update one. But basically I want to show you the difference, because when I'm all done with this and put it back together, you're not going to be able to tell. So here's the difference in the actual texture on this, okay? The original one to your right and the modified one to your left. But initially it feels good. So I'm going to do that same thing to this scale here. Just basically wet sand it until it's down to this one so they match up evenly. What a difference. Take it out of the sheath here. Yeah, these scales, the grip originally was not to my liking. I mean, it was okay, it wasn't terrible or anything, but I didn't like it. It was kind of ticklish. By sanding it down with 100 grit sandpaper, it knocked off, it's a made-up word. It knocked off, or lopped off. I don't know why I do that. My brain, I don't know if that makes me really smart or really dumb, but I combine these descriptive words to come up with a tertiary descriptive word, which is definitely by far superior. So like I said, as I make up these different words over time, feel free to use them. Hopefully Webster will put that in his dictionary. Moving on. What a difference. It knocked off the peaks, which were kind of ticklish. I don't know what it was. The grip pattern looked fine. It seemed like it worked fine. I think what the deal was here, the bad combination was there were high peaks. All right, there were deep grooves in the design. However, the corners of the deep grooves were too rounded off. Does that make sense? So like, let's say, exaggerating, we have a groove and it's like, this big U. The top portions here, the corner pieces, they were too rounded. And you think that'd be nice, you don't want it too grippy, you don't want to hurt your hand or whatever, but it was actually counterproductive. By being deep and rounded like that and so smooth, it created for a weird texture that didn't offer as much grip as you'd like. So visually it looked like, oh, this could be really grippy because it's very deep, but in reality it wasn't. It was just, I would have preferred it either completely smooth or, very grippy. So this was a great medium. It's really a very, very simple thing to do. I know when you buy something that's expensive, you shouldn't have to just modify it right away. But if that was something that you personally don't like I didn't like, it's a very, very straightforward, very simple, easy to do modification. So since then, try it out again. and it works fantastic. I'm trying to think what to compare this to. It almost feels, it feels similar to a canvas micarta now. Not quite as rough, but if you have like a semi smoothed out canvas micarta, it's a very similar feeling to that right now. So I really like it. I don't know, you can't tell by scratching noises, but a world of difference. It really was night and day. It chops a lot better, the grip's a lot better. Of course, I still like using this little lanyard system. I think I showed this in one of the other videos that I did on the T-Hawk, but it works great. And I like it. So the one thing that kind of threw me off with this particular tool, I fixed. So fantastic. Very nice, simple, straightforward modification on an awesome tool, which is even better now. So big fan of this T-Hawk. My only suggestion, as I've said before, with this tool is if you're going to get this one, you probably want to just go with the Kanji over the Chogan. The difference being the Kanji has the point or spike on the back side of the head here. This is not great for hammering. If you're going to hammer, just use the flat of the tool. And so I'll just hammer that way. Much easier than using this. So, you have the benefits of the spike by going that way. Particularly because this is not a Superior Woods tool as it is a survival slash, urban type tool. So that's all. Just want to give you an update on that. Thank you very much for watching. Appreciate your time as always. And I will see you at the next video. Take care, guys.